Hey guys, it's TheMusicManReviewer here, back with a very special video, and today is my Crest mock showcase, and this video was supposed to be out yesterday, but I had about 6 hours of homework, and I did a podcast with my good friend JTB the Jedi. You should go check that out, and I also had to do a Zoom meeting for class, so yeah. So let's get right into this video. So the Razor Crest is very detailed. It took about, I'd say, it took about a good 2 months to make, but it was on and off work, and there was a long period of time where I didn't work on it at all. And here's the Razor Crest compared to a minifigure. So it is a fairly large model. It is probably about what Lego's Razor Crest is, if not a little bit bigger. But yeah, so let's get right into this. So let's first start off with the cockpit. So the cockpit can hold up to 2 minifigures and a microfigure. It utilizes a translucent dome and this translucent piece as well, and that's connected by two 2x2 panel things, and those are connected to these clip pieces, and these clip pieces connect to the ship. So that's how this up and down cockpit mechanism works, because this piece would not be able to lift up such as this because it connects via these hinges. So the only way that can come out is if you pull up, and if you pull up, then that would take the entire bottom floor out. So that's why you have to kind of open it up this way. It's not extremely accurate to the show, because then all of it would you'd probably be able to just open it this way, and then you'd be able to go in and out through there. There's also a ladder. It is right there, and yeah, I made sure that was in the mock because it needed to be accurate to the show, because otherwise the figures would have no way to get up and down to the cockpit. So I had to include that, or else it would not be accurate to the show. So yeah, let's move on to the base of the ship. So the base of the ship, including the front and the sides and the backs as well, is probably my favorite part of the mock because it is extremely detailed. It consists of these 2 stickered pieces over here on 1x8 tiles, I believe, as well as 2 translucent red studs here, as well as these pieces that are usually utilized in castles. So the side of the mock is extremely detailed. It has the Mandalorian it has the Razor Crest classic spray paint, yellow spray paint on it, and it has an opening door that the figures can use to get inside of the ship. So that's there's a look of the inside. You can kind of see the ladder that goes down from the cockpit inside of the ship. And then the wall panels are actually removable, but they're a pain in the butt to remove, so I'm not going to really remove them that much in the video. So this is some of the detailing. It has a lot of tiles and cheese slopes, as well as some studs and tiles with the stud. So it is very detailed. It also has a lot of graded pieces here, and let's go on from the left side and move to the back. The back is extremely detailed as well. It consists of some tiles and slopes, as well as some graded pieces again, and some studs. So I really wanted to include a lot of weathering to the ship, because it is very old and very beat up, and in the second episode the ship is literally torn apart and put back together again, so there would be a lot of loose pieces, and the spray paint continues around to this side as well, and there's a lot more graded pieces on this side, just because I felt like it was more needed on this side, and because it doesn't have the door, so I tried to make this side more detailed. So it has the graded pieces once again, studs, 2x2, not 2x2, a 1x2 cheese slope, and yeah, so that's pretty much it for the base of the mock. And yeah, let's move on to the top and some of the detailing. Hey, so real quick, I'm going to move on to the turrets, because I never talked about them, and it's technically the base of the mock. So the turrets utilize these circular pieces here that are usually found in the big 6 stud launcher pieces, and it also has gun turrets sticking out of it. So if you look at the Razor Crest, I was surprised, because I didn't think they were circular, but the gun turrets are actually circular, so that's how I kind of handled that. Landing gear for the Razor Crest is really simple. It is just a helicopter landing gear piece and a wedge with a 2x2 brick. So yeah, sorry, I forgot to put that in. So the top of the mock, of course, is also extremely detailed. It has a lot of unique piece usage, which I really wanted to utilize different types of pieces that you wouldn't really expect on a Razor Crest or a ship in general, because one thing that I'm actually very proud of with this Moc is I didn't order any pieces at all. All of these pieces all of this entire ship was made out of pieces that I have in my collection. So let's just move on and talk about the different pieces I use. I use these round pieces here that are kind of like a semicircle round pieces that attach to the top of the Moc here. And I use this piece, which is usually found on vehicles or the tops of cars and such. So I also use some slopes here and some more slopes, and I also use some 1x1 tiles with the one stud, and I also use some 2x2 tiles with the one stud as well. So yeah, I really am proud of how detailed this Moc is, as well as I have the part that extends past the back of the ship, which was really hard to do because I had to find a way to attach it past the main base of the Moc and still keep it sturdy. And this actually keeps the back from like dropping down, so it kind of was a double usage because it helped me get the shape of it, and it also helped keep the back in place. So yeah, let's move on to the turbines. So the turbines consist of like a brick with studs on the side of it. And so this piece is connected like that, and the turbines can just kind of slide in and out of place. So it is a very simple mechanism as the back breaks. Anyway, so it is a very simple mechanism, but it gets the job done. Yes, it is a little bit loose. It is about the same thing on the other side. Let me just attach it real quick and show you. It has some flame sticking out the back and some detail at the front, including a circular dish and some grates again. And yeah, so there's the fire sticking out. So yeah, so that's pretty much the entire Razor Crest. Now, let's get into about the process of building this thing. So, the process of building the Razor Crest was not a simple one at all. In fact, it took a very, very long time. It took about 2 months of on and off work. I lost determination throughout building it just because of how hard it was to get all the angles and all the pieces necessary to build such a creation as this. So, the real trick to it is getting the angles right and getting these the studs on the side. So what I used the headlight bricks, and they line the entire bottom row, and that's keeping the wall up. So that's why I say the wall is removable, because I could just take off the wall from the thing, and then you can kind of access the interior. But the interior is filled with a bunch of bricks that kind of keep everything together and hold this platform up and hold the entire back on and kind of connect everything together so it doesn't fall apart. So the thing is, right, when building that, the wall would kind of fall off constantly, right? The walls would just kind of get all over the place, and I couldn't just copy and paste the wall on either side, because one of the side has a access point where the minifigures can go up and into the Razor Crest. So I couldn't copy and paste the wall. I had to build two completely different wall modules, so that kind of took a long time. So for the longest time, I just had the walls and the front done, right? So I had no way to approach getting the top on or connected, because there was no way to attach it. So I had to build up with bricks on the inside and kind of attach the roof. But the thing is, there isn't that much interior space. So what I had to do, I kind of had to make sure, I kind of had to just get 2x4 bricks and just kind of build up and expand outwards, right? But the problem with that, the weight on the top would kind of like constantly shift it and move it. So I had to kind of do a lot of things to interlock all the pieces together and make sure that the entire thing didn't fall apart, which happened a lot. There was one time when I was working on it on my bed, and I was getting more pieces from the bin, and I forgot that I had put the Razor Crest on my bed, and I just sat on it. All of it fell apart. At that point, I was done. I didn't think I could move on and work on it. But I spent I worked on it from 9:30 to midnight, and I finally fixed it and got it back to the shape it was. And then I believe I finished the Razor Crest the next day. So I was almost about to give up on it. And yeah, so the process of building this thing was not an easy one, and it took a very long time, and it paid off, I feel like. I feel like the Moc looks really, really good, and it will be featured in my Building Nevarro series, which I did order pieces for, so that series might kind of get shifted and delayed a little bit. But anyway, so that's it for this video. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.